Screen sharing has started.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're cranking it up here, and tonight's webinar is called Learn Why Yogurt is Keeping You Fat and Other New Fat Loss Hacks. And I'm going to go over in detail all of that, and I'm going to go over several other fat loss hacks as well that are really eating away at people and are really holding people back. And these are major problems that I found. These are major things that I found wrong, day-to-day activity, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute Facebook posts, real-life comments everywhere. And that's that. Now, the next thing here, real briefly about me, I didn't put any bullet points up here because I always do, but I put up some photos. This is a before me from when I was the biggest at my football playing days right here where I had the mouse, and this is the best condition I was in. So I have a good before and after photo. But for those just tuning in tonight, I had this on all my webinars, except I don't have all these photos. But basically a background on me, former collegiate athlete, collegiate strength coach, transformed my body. Let's see, probably about 14 years in the private sector experience, personal training, online author, published author, webinar creator, and probably, I think, over 260 successful case studies now, and about, probably, I think up to 62 really awesome before and after photo transformations, which are what I'm proud of. So that's enough about me, so let's get rolling here. Let's get through this. So the big question here tonight is, why is yogurt keeping fat? I mean, when I posted that on my Facebook page, and you guys might have seen the post, I think last week or whenever I posted it, I mean, people went crazy. And let's talk about that for a minute. Now, I'm going to list 4 or 5 bullet points, and I'm not going to really go into depth a whole lot on them. We're going to do that. Each one will have its own slide, but I want to list them here first. So number 1, failed to utilize volumetrics. Well, real quick, very briefly, all volumetrics are, and I'm going to describe that more in a minute, but basically volumetrics are one of the 3 principles of my eating pattern, the customized eating pattern that I sell to people. Okay, so that's very important, and we'll describe that thoroughly in a second. It'll have its own slide. Up next is the lack of fibrous carbs, but loaded with filler carbs, or basically lousy carbs, carbs that really don't help you. Okay. The next reason is it doesn't provide satiety. The way I define satiety is simply filling you up, simply satisfying your appetite. Okay? And it doesn't utilize the thermic effect, the thermic process of digestion, which is so vital in the fat loss game. That's why, and I don't want to get off topic on this too much now, but real quick point, that's why I tell so many people, reduce your training. Get out of the gym and get into the kitchen, eat the right foods, and the thermic effect of digestion will rev up your metabolism far more effectively than exercise ever will. Okay, what the heck is volumetrics? Well, the way I define volumetrics in my own words, and this is my definition, this is not a textbook definition, is the quality of a food to take up the most digestible volume with the least caloric content. And down here is a little illustration of 3 different examples that are great. This is perfect. Now, each one of these is 400 calories, 400 calories of oil. Okay, doesn't take up hardly any space at all. 400 calories of chicken, about maybe not even half, about 1/3 of the stomach is taken up. Now, 400 calories of vegetables, it fills the stomach full. Okay, so which one of these has the greatest, applies the principle of volumetrics the most? Well, obviously the last one here. Same amount of calories. That's why these knuckleheads that say it's all about calories in versus calories out. No, it's not. It absolutely is not. And this is just one of the many reasons it's not. So another key point is, the higher the volumetrics, it feeds into the thermic process of digestion. Well, this isn't going to elicit or evoke any kind of thermic process at all. Well, number 1, oil isn't digested, or liquid isn't digested, and oil is liquid. It's absorbed, okay? And the more roughage, cruciferous, fibrous, leafy green roughage you have, your digestive system is literally going to have to work its ass off to burn through it and digest it and break it down, and your stomach's churning and burning. And no, you're not going to be out of breath from this. You're not going to be, you might be, but you might be pouring in sweat. You might be. I mean, if it'll rev up your metabolism like crazy. That we're not talking about the thermic effect of protein. That's not what we're talking about. You might not even know what that is, but people love to throw that argument in. We're talking about the thermic effect from the process of digestion, the thermic process of digestion. Does that make sense? So that's huge. That's what volumetrics brings to the table. All right. And lastly, it speeds up the metabolism. Well, guys, when your metabolic process fires up, this may be a newsflash to you, but when your metabolic process fires up, it speeds up your metabolism. It's kind of the same thing. Your metabolism is the rate at which your body burns calories. So if there's a if the thermic process of digestion is going to speed that up, it's going to speed up your metabolism. So literally, when you eat a lower calorie, I know this is still 400 calories across the board, but when you eat a lower calorie content per square inch volume, you're burning more calories through the process of digestion, because it's going to speed up your metabolism. That's what's so phenomenal about this, and that's why volumetrics is so important, okay? And the yogurt doesn't offer that. It doesn't have that quality, all right? And it provides short-term satiety and more energy. Like I said, if your metabolism speeds up, you're going to have more energy. If your metabolic rate increases, you're going to have more energy. It goes hand in hand, and it's going to fill you. I mean, look at this here. It's the same number of calories. Which do you think is going to fill you up the most? Certainly not the oil. It's going to be this. It's going to be all those veggies packed in there. Okay, easy enough. Now, this is the exact label that was on the back of the little carton of yogurt that I posted a couple slides ago. I think it was Oikus, O-I-K-U-S, however you spell it, but you guys saw it. And no, you can read this here. This should be big enough to read. Now, look right here. 22 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar. That's where the carbs are coming from. It's coming from sugar. Dairy products contain lactose. And that's a very lousy carbohydrate. Lactose is a sugar. It's not effective at all if your goal is fat loss. It's not an optimal food source to be consuming. It doesn't aid the fat loss process. It is not aided well in, oh my gosh, what word am I looking for? Oh, my tongue's tied here. Oh my gosh, brain fart. Anyway, it's not utilized quite. Partitioning, that's the word I was looking for. It doesn't have as great an effect in nutrient partitioning as black beans, which are full of fiber, as quinoa, which is an ancient grain and is actually an awesome source of complex carbohydrates, or even old-fashioned Quaker oatmeal, or even sweet potatoes, or even red potatoes, or even brown rice, or chickpeas. I could go on and on. The point is that it's a lousy carbohydrate. So it's loaded with lousy filler carbs. Lousy carbs, which come from sugar, which is lactose. That's not going to help you guys burn fat. Now, the protein to carb ratio is it's way off. I put extremely high. Well, what I meant to say is it's way off. It should be higher. I think I misworded it. But the carbs should be higher, and they should be from better carbs. Or there should be fats, and there are no fats. So, and we'll get to this in a minute. Let me get the next bullet point up here. All this is congealed milk. All you're eating. I mean, guys, this is Greek. This is organic Greek yogurt. I just showed you the label. I mean, you're just eating congealed milk. Look at the ingredients. It's not fat milk. When has this ever been a part of healthy fat loss? When has this ever been a part of effective, highly effective fat loss? Never. This has never been a part of that. But what happens is Dr. Oz, who else? Carbon Dioxide Magazine, Muscle Fiction for Hers, Shape Magazine, Weight Watchers, I don't know, whoever else, and they'll throw this in there, and all of a sudden people think this is going to help them burn fat. Look, if you're 200 pounds and you eat less calories, initially you're going to reduce weight, initially. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about people that are active in the gym. We're talking about people that are into fitness, that have stubborn belly fat and stubborn fat around their hips and thighs that won't burn off, and they think eating congealed milk. Guys, this is organic Greek yogurt, the cream of the crop, the top of the line. All right, doesn't provide satiety, and I put her photos up, and by the way, she's did a phenomenal job. She followed my eating program for 7 weeks back in, I think it was 2010 or 2011 or 2010, and did awesome. And I'm going to tell you why we use her for an example here in a minute. But it doesn't provide satiety, and let me explain. Very little fiber. In fact, I don't think there's any fiber in Greek yogurt. Okay. Next up, no chewing. Now I'm going to back up a minute because I want to talk about this more. Very little fiber. You know, before, in fact, this photo right here, she was 23% body fat, and she's had 3 babies during the time of this photo, by the way. And this photo, which is 7 weeks later, I measured her at 12.9%. She was just under 13. So that's a tremendous amount of progress in only 7 weeks. And she was drinking, in this photo here, she would drink a muscle milk. She would drink, she'd have like yogurt every day. And she thought she was eating healthy. Well, we took that out, and we changed up her, and she was running a ton. She was doing treadmill like 4 days a week. Yogurt and muscle milk is what she'd have like every day too. So we took all that out, and we took the running out, put in a little bit of weight training, and we added in the right food, but took out the yogurt and the dairy. Now there's no chewing in yogurt. You don't really chew up yogurt. I mean, it's just congealed milk. It doesn't really chew up. And you're like, well, why does that matter? Well, chewing is part of satiety. The chewing process. You know where digestion starts? I'll tell you. Digestion starts with chewing. And when you start chewing, the saliva glands activate, and they start adding saliva to the mix, and the saliva and the chewing break down the food. And when that happens, it lets the stomach know. When you're chewing on stuff, it lets the stomach know that it creates an expectation for food in the stomach. And different acids and different juices within the stomach wall, different digestive juices start flowing and are secreted, they're released within the stomach because the stomach expects food. Okay, now I'm going to get a little off topic here. I was talking about Greek yogurt, but I want to shift gears just for about 30 seconds. A lot of people chew gum. Chew gum between meals. Girls that are in bikini figure diets, they'll chew gum between meals. Nothing wrong with a stick of gum after a meal. That's fine if you want to like freshen your breath or whatever. But the problem is people chew gum between meals when they're really hungry to try to, I guess, get their mind off food or whatever. And so they'll chew the gum, it'll be a little piece of fruit juicy gum or some little fruity flavor or whatever, and their saliva will start just pooling up and will create a ton of saliva. And of course they end up swallowing that saliva. And they're chewing, and it'll go through like a pack of gum a day. And here's what happens. When you chew that food and that saliva gets worked up, those stomach juices start flowing. And the stomach acids get ready. But no food comes down. And there's more gum, more chewing. And that stomach acid, and what happens is it aggravates and irritates the stomach, and people get bloated. They get upset stomachs, get acid reflux, and they'll get bloated. I'm bloated. My they'll get a a distended belly, and they haven't even eaten anything. Or then they'll lose their appetite almost, and they wonder what's going on. I know that's off topic, guys, but I wanted to throw that in. The take-home message from that is don't chew gum between meals. Guys, a stick a day is fine between meals, but it's when you're having gum between all your meals. Have it after a meal if you want to chew it. Okay, so that's another reason why it doesn't provide satiety. Next up is there's no fat. Guys, you're eating congealed skim milk, and people comment on there, comment in that chat column. How many people saw the anger, the acrimony, the grievances people had with me on that Facebook post last week when I said that eating Greek yogurt is preventing you from burning belly fat? I mean, these were angry, and I'll tell you why they got angry. Okay? A lot of folks out there love that cool, creamy texture of yogurt. And it satisfies, and it's creamy, and it has all that lactose gets in their mouth, and it's just that cool, creamy texture. Just women love it. And there's emotion tied to that, and it's an emotional. There's gets so emotional when you say when I say you can't have, or I say that's going to prevent you from burning body fat. They get insulted. In their interpretation of what I said wasn't. They didn't hear me. They didn't read me say or read me type, Greek yogurt will prevent body fat loss. You know what they read? Stop eating your yogurt. Stop eating your favorite meal of the day. That's what they really read, because they have such an emotional attachment to it. Okay? And there's no healthy carbs. Who wants to eat lactose? My gosh, eat an apple. Don't eat lactose. That's not going to help you burn fat. And you're like, well, will all this really make a difference? You know, if I'm eating good everything else and I have 1 cup a day, will this really make a difference? Yes! Look, guys, your body is very stubborn. You know the people that sign up with me? They're people that have tried almost everything else. They're people that read Carbon Dioxide magazine. They're people that watch Dr. Oz. They're people that go from one Facebook page to the next, reading all the conflicting information. And then they get angry and they say, well, yours is conflicting information. No, mine's the right information. Theirs is wrong. I can assure you, Weight Watchers, Eat Clean, I won't say any others that people might know, but I mean all these other Facebook pages, guys, and their websites, they're not trying to help you burn fat. You know what they're trying to do? These are multi-million-dollar campaigns. Guys, they don't care if you burn fat. They don't care if you lose weight. You want me to tell you what they care about? They want to earn money. I want to earn money. Don't get me wrong. But my number one goal here at Wet World Training, we believe you burn fat and the money will take care of itself. You burn fat, the clients will take care of themselves. You burn fat, the great before and after photos will take care of themselves. If you focus on burning fat, everything else takes care of it. So these multi-million-dollar weight loss campaigns, people think because, you know, they're on TV every day and they see them on commercials, they're legitimate. Nothing could be further from the truth. But so yeah, you guys, you need every weapon, you need every advantage you can get. That's what you need. All right, now let's shift gears here for a minute. This is big. This is a problem. This has hurt. This has killed so many people. And there's two sides to the coin. Never ever weigh after your first week on your program. Never weigh. Well, why not? Okay, here's why. Problems with losing weight the first week creates. If you lose weight your first week, you're like, well, Jeff, why don't you want me to weigh my first week if I know I've gotten smaller and I will have lost weight? Don't you want? I mean, why don't you want me to know that? And for those of you that don't know, I want everybody to weigh monthly. Not only weigh, but measure their waist, and that's really it. Measure your waist and weight. We don't do body fat. We don't do other stuff. Just once a month. We do it monthly. We gauge fat loss progress monthly, and I should have typed that on here. That should have been one of the bullet points. And here's why. When you do it weekly, even if you lose weight your first week, here's two things that can go wrong. Complacency. All of a sudden, I've had a woman lose 13 pounds 2 weeks ago, her first week. I had another woman gain 4 pounds last week, okay, or 2 weeks ago. And I've had another woman lose 3 pounds 3 weeks ago, her first week. Now, none of these people were supposed to weigh their first week, okay, but they disobeyed me and disobeyed the criteria of the program and did, and it's already screwed up some of them. And a lot of the people that lost weight their first week, they'll fall off the bandwagon. And you're like, well, why would that happen? I'm going to tell you. Number one, complacency. People lose weight, they'll burn fat their first week, and they'll think, I can go out with friends and drink. I can go out and drink with friends. I deserve to eat to celebrate. And they also think, I can sneak in treats each day and still lose weight. I can sneak in some Triscuits, some Happy Cow, Laughing Cow cheese, a cocktail, I'll have a bagel. I'm still, my gosh, I lost 4 pounds the first week. I'm probably going to, well, nothing could be further from the truth. Guys, the human body is an extremely adaptive organism. It clings to fat for dear life. It doesn't want to part with body fat. Newsflash, your body doesn't want to part with body fat, okay? And I've had people make big jumps their first week and lose fat, okay? Lose weight and fat, okay? And what happens is the body adapts. It says, we don't want to lose any more fat. okay? And it adapts, it adjusts, okay? So you might lose 4 pounds your first week, and you might gain a pound your next 3. I didn't say fat. I said scale weight, okay? And that's why you always gauge fat loss monthly. But let me keep going with this so I don't get off track. Another bad reason is that it creates false expectations. People think, I will lose this much every week from now on. And you know what? If I don't lose 3 pounds a week after my first week, for each additional week thereafter, then something's wrong. Or the diet just isn't working, so I'll give up. You know what? What if you lost 3 pounds of fat your first week and nothing the rest of the next 3 weeks? And then you wait again after, 3 weeks later, which would have been the end of the month, and you're like, I'm a loser. I didn't lose anything the last 3 weeks. Well, maybe not, but you lost 3 over the month. That's why we don't gauge fat loss weekly. We gauge it monthly. What did you lose over the month? Guys, your body weight goes up and down each day through water, through how much food you've eaten, through the time of the month, through hormonal issues. So it can also fluctuate weekly, okay? But it's not going to fluctuate monthly. 30, 31, 29, 28 days, it's not going to go back up if you're in the fat loss process. My point is you can be in the process of burning fat and still have your scale fluctuate. Does that make sense? So these are real reasons, guys. I've seen people decimated. They lost 4 pounds the first week and might have gained, I didn't say fat, they might have lost 4 pounds of scale weight the first week and gained a pound of scale weight the next 3 weeks, so they lost 3 pounds over the month, which is awesome. And they lost like 1.5 inches off their waist, and they'll feel like a failure because they went and weighed the first week and then looked at the next 3 weeks, and collectively, even though it was still a 3 pound loss for the month, they don't see that 3 pound loss. They see the 1 pound, the scale went back up the next 3 weeks. Is this making sense, guys? Do you see how just not following the... Guys, and there's people on the call tonight that are probably like this. That just... And this is tough love time. All right, tough love time, guys. This is tough love time. A lot of folks that do this, they have poor self-images. They struggle with self-esteem. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you need help. And you have to follow instructions. They struggle with self-esteem. They struggle with self-worth. They have all sorts of self-image and self-loathing problems. And they have horrible relationships with food. And they hop right on the scale like a petulant little kid after the first week. And some of them go on to lose more weight the rest of the month. Others don't. But either way, it sets you up. Now, let's keep moving. Now, never wait after the first week, but let's look at the other side of the coin. Okay? Huge problems with gaining weight after the first week. I didn't say fat. Sometimes we had a girl that went up 4 pounds on the scale, I think 2 weeks ago. Or I guess it was about a week ago. She went up 10 pounds on the scale. I'm sorry. I'm going crazy here. She went up 4 pounds her after her first week. And she might even be on the call tonight. We'll bring her on if she is. I just signed up 3 weeks ago. And she's like, oh my gosh, she was panicked. And I said, well, why are you weighing? Don't you follow instructions? That's only going to mentally destroy you. We gauge fat loss, say it for me, guys, not weekly, monthly. We gauge fat loss monthly. Your weight fluctuates daily and can fluctuate weekly. That's why we gauge fat loss and weight loss. We gauge progress monthly. So here's what happens. This young lady, and I've had several others like her, but I'll use her because she was recent. By the way, and I'm not going to post her photos, but I think she's 28, and she has a beautiful physique. Probably 19-20% body fat, but just awesome curves, awesome lines. I forgot her height and weight. I think she was like 5'2", 127, but filled out really nice. Looked very good, a very nice figure. The point I'm making is this: she was underfed severely. She was eating like yogurt. She was eating cottage cheese, whatever. She was eating some yogurt, and she was eating basically no vegetables, no cruciferous, leafy green, fibrous vegetables. So you know me, we yank all that dairy out, give her a ton of food, and her little belly is bloated. She feels like she's holding water. And what happens is you get people that have been literally, maybe not starving themselves, but they've been really under-eating. They're underfed. okay, and they have a suppressed metabolism and a suppressed appetite. And when you eat a ton of leafy green, multicolored cruciferous vegetables and healthy lean meats, healthy fats, and complex carbs, what happens? Number one, your glycogen storage within your liver and your muscle cells are going to swell up, okay? And you start drinking a ton of water, it's going to allow you to absorb and saturate more water. Your volumization, your cellular tissues are going to absorb and swell up with water. Because you've been underfed so badly for so long, when you eat a ton of healthy food, what happens is you just suck it up. Especially it plateaus after about 2 or 3 weeks, guys. But the first week you might gain a few pounds, and 4 pounds is a lot for a little bitty girl like that. My point is that, and all those vegetables, for some people, can really give you a funny word is you've all heard of the veggie belly. It's when your belly's poked out because you've ate so many. That's not fat, guys. Being bloated. And there's some women, I might have put this in here, here it is. There's some women, and this is sad, that really truly think if they eat a big leafy green salad with peppers and chopped up and onions and tomatoes, that if they eat that with like a piece of chicken or fish and they get a huge bloated belly, they really think they're fat. Did you know there's some women that really, in their heart of hearts, in their feeble minds, believe that they've gained fat? That is a self-loathing, pernicious place to be. Don't you agree? Type in if you agree with me or not. Type in if you think that it's a sad, sad state of affairs. If a woman truly eats a salad, a big, huge, leafy green salad with bell peppers and tomatoes and cucumber and zucchini, all diced up with some olive oil, a lot of healthy fats, and a piece of fish or really lean ground beef, and has a big bloated belly, has a big full belly, and she thinks I'm fat. If you agree with me that someone that thinks they're fat from eating a big salad has mental and emotional self-image issues, type in. And I better see every person type in, because if you don't, then you might need to go visit a psychologist. My point is, guys, that's what I call a fear of food, and that's a dangerous place to be. So, guys, when you're bloated, and some people have it. Some people get bloated bellies and bloated midsections if they eat a big salad. And if that's a problem with digestive issues, then work around it. Work around it. Okay? I get that. But that's not really the point of this bullet point here. The point of this is that if you have a full belly or even a little bit of bloating from eating a huge bunch of salad or vegetables, that's not fat. And I'm repeating that like 12 times now, because there's people that have truly come to me and said, I feel fat, or I'm fatter now. Well, you didn't gain, your body fat didn't go up from eating a salad. But they think they did, and that's a sad place to be. And so what happens is, because of all this, are y'all following me here? Because they're underfed and their cells volumized, they're holding more water, or they eat a big salad, they're a little bit bloated. They panic, and this picture's covering it up, but I'll fill it in. They panic in the program won't work, so they immediately ditch their program and revert back to their old ways. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a pernicious thing to do? I cannot tell you, so many people miss out on great opportunities in life because they just can't follow the program. So many people miss out on extraordinary things in life. So many people miss out on amazing opportunities in life, in fat loss, because they just can't follow directions. Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of them. And also, oftentimes, this is your body's way of healing itself. Your body has to go through a brief, we're not talking a 15-pound weight gain, guys, but some people might gain 2 or 3 or 4 pounds after they eat a ton of food, okay? A ton of healthy food after they've been undereating for the last, chronically undereating and over-exercising, we haven't even gotten to that yet, over the previous few months. And that your body sucks everything up because your body's been underfed for so long, it doesn't know that this is your normal way of eating. It doesn't know that. Your body thinks, wow, I've been underfed for so long, I'm finally getting enough food now. So I'm going to suck all this food up like crazy as storage in glycogen stores, liver glycogen. I'm going to saturate it under my cellular reserves for later use because I might be back on my starvation diet next week or tomorrow. So guys, it's part of the healing process, okay? By the way, pardon me for my congestion. I've got bad allergies over here. It's killing me, but we're doing good. Okay, let me get a sip of water here, and I'm going to tackle this. So this kind of feeds off what we just talked about. The chronic undereaters combined with chronic undereaters are always caffeine junkies and exercise addicts. What do you mean by that? Here's what I mean. When someone doesn't eat enough, when they undereat, it requires them to get energy from somewhere else, okay? That can be a coffee, espresso shots, 4-hour energy, fat burner pills, Genix, whatever you want to call them. And they have to do that because they're not getting enough energy from they're not eating enough. So they have to get stimulants from somewhere else. But a caffeine or a fat burner isn't fuel. It's not a fuel source. Food is a fuel source, but it can give you an artificial energy boost in the form of nervous system stimulation, and that's what they do. Then they go and well, and here's why. Why are stimulants addictive? Well, when you undereat, not only do they give you a stimulation of energy, but a lot of them help suppress the appetite. A lot of these fat loss pills, they can actually suppress your appetite, and it stimulates your nervous system. And it also, a lot of these have all these chemical extracts in there, and they give you an endorphin rush. It really is. It's like a huge endorphin. It's like a jolt. It's an endorphin rush. And what it does is, when you do this, it allows you to overtrain, undereat, and it allows you to get away with eating twigs and berries. And it also boosts you to do, I don't like the word boost, that's a positive word. It provides an artificial means for you to do zillions of hours on cardio 6 days a week, maybe 7 days a week. So do you follow me here, what's going on? You're under-eating, which would be hard. You couldn't function off the food on a regular day anyway, but you're doing zillions of cardio, and then you're taking caffeine and thermos to push through it. You know what happens? You hit the wall. You have severe health problems, and your body fights back. I had a woman last year, probably about 6-7 months ago, signed up, and she was eating literally big bowls of spinach and like chicken or turkey or egg whites every meal. No carbs, no fats. And she was running and working out like crazy. She did eat popcorn. That was like her everyday carb. It was unbelievable. And her body was a mess. She was like 26% body fat. The woman was cardioing like an hour and a half a day and weights for like an hour a day. It was crazy. So she finally goes and gets her blood work done through an endocrinologist, and she had like rock bottom progesterone levels, no estrogen levels, like no, I forgot what her estrogen and her test was probably, I'm sure, super low. And women do have test levels, by the way. They're just lower than men. And her estrogen was, I forgot if her estrogen was high or low, but I remember her progesterone was super low. And when a woman, or men, but when a woman's hormones are all out of whack, that's when, that's when you can't burn fat. That's a earmark of someone that can't burn fat. Listen, guys, you take all these little diet nerds and dietitian and science, nerds, and they say it's all about calories in versus calories out. Oh, really? I wish they could have seen that lady that, before she signed up with me, that was doing 2 hours of workout a day, eating popcorn and spinach and egg whites all day, and still had 26% body fat. She'd literally destroyed her hormone levels. She'd hit the wall, living off thermos. Guys, she hit the wall. And there's women that do this look at this woman dying on the bike here. There's women that do this. They read in the magazines. When you open Oxygen magazine, which I hate, you know what you see? Bastardized, dastardly exercise programs. You see I counted 9 fat burner pill ads, about 8 different protein powder advertisements. They're killing you. They're not trying to help you burn fat. The girls on the cover are either genetically gifted or on steroids. They're not taking this stuff in the magazine. Newsflash. Listen, folks. They're not trying to help you burn fat. They're trying to earn money, build a business. That's what they're doing. They don't care. They're trying to sell more magazines. What if they said eat tons of food? Eat tons of food, quit taking them fat burner pills. Nobody would buy the magazines. They wouldn't believe it. I mean, you guys are killing yourselves. What if I went to exercise every day? Remember that old after-school special back in the 80s? They say, exercise 30 minutes a day, you'll feel great. Well, that's not what I'm referring to here. And I put that in parentheses here. And let me rephrase that. I misworded it. I'm not referring to recreational activities. What they meant on the after-school special, what they were referring to was go play volleyball, go shoot hoops. Guys, there's nothing wrong with shooting basketball for 30 minutes a day. That's exercise. But what happens is women here, they read in Shape magazine 15 minutes a day. Well, if 15 minutes a day is good, 30 minutes a day must be better. Well, if 30 minutes a day is good, 35, and so all of a sudden they're doing an hour a day, 6 days a week, and they're exhausted. They're skinny fat. Guys, when the health people say exercise every day, they're talking about going for a 5-minute walk, going to the mailbox, shooting some hoops, playing volleyball. Guys, they're not talking about burning out on the treadmill or doing a spinning class every day or doing aerobics every day or doing Stairmaster every day. That's not what that's not what exercise every day means. You can exercise recreationally. You can play tennis one day, shoot hoops the next, and you don't even need to every day. But my point is that this is how exercise addictions develop. People start going every day, and they don't see much progress, so they start going longer every day. Then they start adding more minutes. Then they start going more days of the week. There's this girl I saw at the gym. I don't go to this gym anymore. She was here every day. She was probably about 22% body fat, which isn't bad, but she was thin as a rail, and she just ran on the treadmill every day. And I remember, as the years went by, she would run longer and longer and longer, and her body regressed. She lost any muscle tone she had in her legs. Her arms were like Q-tips, but they had, they were thin, but they had no muscle tone. And what happens is people become fat loss resistant. I don't know if I like the term metabolic damage. That's a whole different can of worms. But what happens is you become fat loss resistant. Your body adapts to the cardio. It no longer affects it. Where do you go from here? What's next? And it spikes your appetite. Guys, when you exercise, you burn calories, and you create a deficit in your energy system. So you get more hungry. And then you go home and you try to eat twigs and berries, but you're starving at 9 o'clock at night, and you end up eating 6 brownies. Then you hate yourself and you do it again the next day. Guys, this is America. This is Canada. This is Australia. This is New Zealand. This is the world we live in. This is 90. I'm not talking, if you're a couch potato, this doesn't apply to you. If you don't go, this doesn't apply to you if you don't go to the gym. Of active female fitness people that go to the gym, that you see the gym, that they might be thin, they might be a few pounds heavier, but this represents 90% of them, and you know it does. I eat healthy food, but I still can't budge my body fat. Well, guess what? First off, eating some healthy foods is not enough. You must eat all the right healthy foods. Okay, and let me also say, I posted this on my Facebook page a few days ago. It's so amazing on Facebook. I love this. I've been doing this now for, over 14 years in the collegiate level, private sector. I've done it with myself. You just guys saw the photos. Got, dozens, if not hundreds of before-after photos, the social proof, testimonials, blah, 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 blah. And I've still got women that think they know more than me. And you just kind of laugh at it. But it reaches a point where, are you really that ignorant? Where does this false bravado come from? You're 30% body fat, and you're telling me you're already eating healthy? Are you kidding me? Really? It's like, have some humility. Take ownership. Have some personal responsibility in what you do. Own up, people. Guys, if you can't take ownership, you'll never get better. My Lord. And here's the problem. They're eating what they read in Oxygen magazine, what they read on some fitness blog, which is wrong, but they think it's right. And they say, here's this is a different, I'm going crazy tonight. This is a different webinar, but I'm going to mention it. These are the people that end up getting hormone fat loss treatment, HCG and medical fat loss. These are the people that think they're eating healthy, and they go and they get their stomach cut out. They get gastric bypass, or they get, probably not those people, those are more extreme. Those are like the 400-pound people. These are the people that end up getting HCG, and it wrecks their metabolism, and they come back, and they bounce back with more weight than before. Guys, it's not so much about what you eat, it's what's the food you're not eating. Even if you eat some healthy food, you still got to eat all the right healthy foods, okay? And I'm yet to find someone who's eating healthy and can't budget. I'm yet to find someone that truly eats healthy, nutritious, balanced food and can't burn body. I haven't found that yet. Where do you go from here? The road to recovery. The right map will, it's going to draw up all your thermos. Get off those fat burners. Get off the caffeine. Protect your adrenal glands. Recover them. Slash your gym time. Get out of the gym by 75%. You're going too much. Increase your food prep time by 100%. If you're spending 2 hours a week prepping food, you should be spending 4 hours a week. Okay? Get out of the gym and get in the kitchen. All right? 2, 10, maybe 15-minute ground-based, which means you don't need a track. It just means in place. Metabolic sessions per week. You don't need, guys, if you can go for 30 minutes, you ain't going hard enough. That's my motto. And for those who don't know what metabolic are, I'll tell you on my you can ask me on my Facebook page when we're done. Now, type in. Let me know if you remember this. Who remembers this? Who remembers this? This diet from my webinar today, or not from my webinar, from my Facebook. I posted, and I posted this on my Facebook today, and you guys probably remember it. And it set off a firestorm. What's wrong with that diet? It looks good to me. This diet looks really healthy. What's wrong with it? And this is the sad state of affairs we're in. We get people that are exercising 6 days a week, living off thermos, eating cottage cheese, eating Greek yogurt like crazy, sucking down protein powder left and right, and they're eating twigs and berries. I'm going to troubleshoot that diet. Number one, it doesn't have enough calories to keep a sparrow alive. I don't care if you're 5, and that's the thing about it. I don't care if you're, okay, if you were I wouldn't feed this diet to a 6-year-old. I wouldn't. It's not even healthy. Nothing's nutritious in there. Barely. It's got a little bit of protein, actually too much protein. My point is, I don't care if you're 5 foot 100 pounds or if you're 5'10", 160. It's not enough food for anybody. And it's not nutritious. It's woefully lacking complex carbs. I should have put this in. It's woefully lacking micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. It's got no nutrition in it. Guys, nutrition is more than fat, protein, and carbs. Newsflash. It's void of any fat sources. It's going to shut down your dang menstrual cycle. It's going to basically take away your fertility. It's woefully lacking any cruciferous leafy green vegetables. I didn't see any, and I think I might have saw some asparagus. Way too much protein. Way too much. And too much processed refined food. Protein powder was 2 of the meals. It was horrible. Ultimately leads to a jailbreak. You eat that, you're going to have a binge. Refeeds are an excuse to binge. And you have people who need cheat meals, which are the same thing as refeeds. When you undereat that bad, you have to. Here's what happens. You undereat. You have severe craving. You follow that diet, which is undereating. You have severe cravings. You binge, or refeed, same thing, on junk. You're guilt-stricken. You return to undereating on twigs and berries, still taking your thermos. You have severe cravings, resurface 2 days later or a day later. You binge on refeed, wash, rinse, repeat. It's the same cycle. Break free. And don't eat less food. Guys, losing fat, losing weight, dropping inches isn't about eating less food. It's about eating different food and probably more food. When it comes to food, more is better. Okay? And this she right here, actually, I know these photos are not at the scale, but you can see here just the fat around her midsection. She lost about, I think, 4.5 inches off her waist. She did a great job. I know it's not to scale, but you can still see the inches that were lost. So now it's time for questions, guys. I'm going to reduce this so I can see it, but we're still on, so don't go crazy on me. We're here. Now, I'm going to scroll back up so y'all can see it. Don't panic on me. I'm going to scroll back up. And awesome questions, guys. You guys look good. I'm going to answer your questions. Stay put. We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to scroll back up to the diet. Can y'all see that? I'm going to zoom it in. And I got a bunch. You guys have done great tonight. So I'm going to get you. Let me answer a few questions, and I'll bring someone on the call tonight if they want to come on. So let me get that back up. Okay, Catalina Vargas from Costa Rica. Thank you for asking this, Catalina. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Let me know if I did. I'm going to answer your question while you type in. She says, what about soy milk or soy yogurt instead of regular? I mean, if you watch this, let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to be mean, but if you watch this whole webinar, did I already answer your question to that? I probably did. So the answer is, you don't want that. You want whole, natural, cruciferous, leafy green foods almost every meal, if not every meal. Okay? And, yeah, I'm just repeating myself. So, I mean, let me know if that answered your question. I'll dig deeper if we need to. Felix, Big Felix, where have you been? You haven't been posting in your journal, Felix. Aren't you in the police academy? I think you said you were. Either way, that's awesome. So Felix is, I think he had a question. What did Felix say? Oh, Felix says, I don't want to talk too much about this, but basically Felix is asking about intermittent fasting and my thoughts on that are it's horrible. It will destroy your metabolism. It will. Here are the people that like intermittent fasting. People that like that or like that lifestyle are people that love to binge. And here's why. Because typically you have 2 big gut buster meals a day. You eat in like in the afternoon and I think late at night, if I'm not mistaken. And you eat a ton of food because you only get 2 meals, so they better be big. So what happens is people that are bingers, they love that overwhelming feeling of excess, and you get that through intermittent fasting. The bad part is it really wrecks your metabolism. So let me I'm sorry for this. Let me bring who else asked a question? Tiffany Ketlinson, so she agreed. Kaisa, if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, let me know. Kasia said that's the fiber. She was, I think, Kaisa, let me know what that was asking about. I'm not sure what in relation your question is to. Let me scroll back down and ask. Okay, so Catalina says, give us an example of a healthy diet plan. I know it is different for everybody, but give us a hint or what foods. And yes, you pronounce it right. Good, okay. Thanks for your amazing job. You are truly an inspiration. Thank you so much, Catalina. Well, Catalina, if you go to my website, now it's, okay, let me make this clear. It's not on my website. It's on my, I do have about, I think 9 or 10 articles on my website that are actually part of the website. This is a complicated answer, so bear with me. But if you go to my message board, my Pro Boards forum, and you can get there by simply clicking, if you go to the upper right-hand corner of my website, it says, click here to go to message board. You can't miss it. My point is, go there, and on my message board, where everybody keeps their journal, where all my clients write their journals, go there, and I have an article called Food Addictions, The Last Stand. So go and you have to sign up, register on my message board, and you know if you ask, we'll go there and read the article, Food Addictions, The Last Stand, and I tell you how to do that. I tell you how to design, and I tell you the foods to use. I tell you that, so you can go do that. So that's right. So you can. It's got like, I mean, a dozen protein sources, a dozen vegetable sources, carbs, fats. It's got a ton of healthy food choices, and that's where you need to go. If you want an example, that's why I wrote my articles, and that's why I do webinars so I don't have to re-answer the same things over and over. Does that make sense? So I want to create an aggregate of information. You know, and I have a lot of people that come on the message or come on my Facebook page and they say, oh, answer this, answer that, or answer this, or why not? And I'll say, well, go watch the webinar. And they'll say, well, just tell me. Or they'll say, you know, so I have to sign up. Well, you should sign up, but you don't have to. I'm still going to help you anyway. So, but the point is that that's why I do the webinars and wrote all the articles. And God, I do webinars every month. I've got like 15 or 16 of them up and running. My point is that, and all the recordings are available, that they're here to help stuff. Now, I'm going to let somebody actually come on the call. Does anybody, and I'll bring you on, and you're live, and you can ask questions. So think about that, and type in the chat box, excuse me while I blow my nose. While I blow my nose for about 10 seconds here, excuse me, and then somebody type in, and I'll bring you on. All right, thanks for the patience while I blew my nose. The allergies here are awful, but they're getting better. This has been the toughest spring I've ever had here. Good grief. Okay, Kaisa, am I pronouncing that correct? Kaisa, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Where are you from? Now, Kasia asked, do you not have to be patient? Do you not have to be patient with results? Is that a double negative? That's a double negative. Let me answer this way. Kasia, I had a woman lose 13 pounds her first week 3 weeks ago, and I've had some people, lose, at least an inch or two, or at least an inch or some pounds the first month. But here's the problem, folks. A lot of folks, they think they can erase 6 months or 6 years worth of damage in a month. Guys, let me explain how the process works. And I'm glad you asked that, Kisa. Let me explain how the process works. Here's how the process works. You sign up for the customized program. I'm going to give you one of my articles. I'm going to link you, point to you, direct you to one of my general, already published exercise programs. And that's what you'll follow during your first month. Okay? And I'll tell you which one to follow. You'll follow that. You'll start a journal, and you'll read your program, you'll obey your program, you'll execute your program, you'll have faith, trust, and confidence in your program for a full month. Do not weigh the first month. Do not weigh at all until you've executed your program for a complete full month. Execute it for a full month. Okay? Then once you do that, you go and you turn in your progress chart. Then you turn your progress chart in. And then you say, I want to, and then you renew. And you say, I liked these foods, I didn't like that food, I was hungry this meal, I wasn't hungry this time of the day, or I was never, you rate your hunger levels, you rate your energy levels, you rate everything. And what you do is, and then when you renew, I build your next program for the next month based off the information you gave me. So, and this lady here, Laura, this took her, for those of you that are on the webinar, I'll repeat it again, it took her 7 weeks. She was 23%, I think 23.2% body fat here, and she had 3 babies at the time this was done, by the way, so she already had 3 little babies, and she was 12.9% body fat here. So she made a huge transformation in 7 weeks, okay? So would anybody like to come on the call tonight? Is there anybody that would like to come on, and I'll bring you on live, and you can ask questions. You can ask any questions you want, and I would love to have you on. And that's it. And if you guys have watched other webinars I've had, you've seen people that also. Let me bring Heather's photo up. I think y'all will like her. You might have even remembered other people that have come on and asked questions live on the webinar. Don't be bashful. I won't be mean to you. I won't be mean. Now here's Heather, and Heather's good because Heather has. The before, the during. People. You need to see what people look like during during it, and then after. So it's before, during, after. So anyway, this is where we're at. And if we don't have any more questions, thank you for coming. And remember, guys, if you guys would do me a favor, if you don't mind, if you go to my webinar, go to my Facebook fan page tonight, Facebook.com/wetwolftraining.com. I'm sorry. it's my Facebook Wet Wolf page. You guys know where it is. In fact, that's probably how you found me. But go there and let me know what you thought. Say, you know what? I disagree with you. I think Greek yogurt is great for burning fat. You can tell me that. You can say, you know what? How long did it take Heather to burn all that fat? You can ask any question you want, and you can comment. Let me know. You might have liked the webinar. You might have disliked it. Who knows? But let me know either way. Thanks for coming, guys. Have a good evening.